Hey everyone, I'm going to take a look at the Champions League Player of the Week pack on eFootball. I've already reviewed the regular Player of the Week pack. That video is live on the channel if you want to check it out. As always, I'll put timestamps in the description for each player. So if you want to hear about a particular player, just click on the description and there'll be a link to take you straight to them. And of course, we'll start with the lowest rated. We've got a few 92 rated here. Let's start with Nicolas Kühn from Celtic. So we had another version of this guy in a Champions League Player of the Week pack recently. And to be honest, this is just a slight upgrade. And it's a pretty lazy upgrade. There's not a lot of difference. They've just kind of boosted most of his stats just like by 1 or 2. It's not really that different to the previous one. It looks like his form's been upgraded to unwavering now. I don't think he was unwavering on the previous one. But yeah, it's slightly better than the previous one. Just only slightly, not a big difference. He doesn't have a face gun yet. Skill-wise, that's the one area where he is quite different to the previous Player of the Week one, though, because that previous Player of the Week one, I think, had long range shooting, and I think he had the ball roll double touch. I think he had flip-flop. I think first-time shot as well as long range shooting. This one has through passing, though. So, yes, some more difference in terms of the skills between this one and the previous one than there is really in the attributes, to be honest. Just a kind of slight upgrade with a few different skills. From his GP card, we've got less pace, less attacking awareness, less balance, but apart from that, decent boost from his GP card. And yeah, and skill-wise, they've just added. What have they added? All he's really got in his GP card, it looks, according to eFootball, if it's right, is he's just got double touch and track back on his GP card. The rest has been added, so soul control, long range curling, through passing, outside curl. Some good ones added there. But yeah, it's not a brilliant card. It's decent. You know, he's got good enough pace. He's decent on the ball, but the attacking awareness isn't great. Passing's not brilliant. Finishing's alright. Would like a bit more balance on him. It could be worse, to be fair. Like I say, it is a slight upgrade on the previous one. So yeah, I think really the passing, the awareness, and the balance are what let him down. But apart from that, he does have some pace. He's going to be pretty good on the ball. You might not have the ball roll double touch like he had last time, but long range curler is an important one to have, coming off that right flank onto his left foot. Through passing is a nice addition. He's definitely not got the awareness to play as a striker, but wide right, you could do worse. There isn't a Scottish League challenge, so he's one of these cards where, unless you've got a themed squad, if you've got a Celtic squad or a Germany squad, you know, it's going to come down to divisions and unlimited challenges. Is he good enough to get in your squad for any of that? Probably not, unless you're quite new to the game. But yeah, it's not a terrible card. Like I say, it's just those few attributes really. The awareness and balance a bit on the low side, like a bit more passing. But apart from that, he does have qualities. He's going to have a bit of pace and some ability on the ball, and a bit of end product as well. His long range curve should be reasonable. So yeah, it's not a bad card, but it's not a brilliant one. Probably one mainly for Celtic fans, to be honest. But yeah, it's just a slight upgrade on the previous one, really. And here is our first feature version of Ryan Flamingo. He's a destroyer centre-back, usual position and playing style. Plays for PSV. His weak foot accuracy's gone up by 1. And yeah, it's one of these centre-backs where he's not really had the most amazing boost from his GP card. It is a boost on the whole, of course, but you know, defensive awareness +3, excellent, but defensive engagement -5. Just comparing to his GP card and auto allocations, they've nerfed his defensive engagement by a bunch of points. A bit more pace and stamina, as you'd expect from a Player of the Week centre-back. Looks like he's lost 1 point off his low pass. Bit pointless, but there we go. But yeah, skill-wise, what have we got skill-wise? Looks like we've got a pretty good selection here. So got heading and aerial, man-mark, interception, blocker, sliding. Yeah, pretty much a complete set of skills for a centre-back. First-time shot is new. I think blocker is new from his GP card, and fighting spirit I think as well. Blocker and fighting spirit along with first-time shot. I'm not entirely trusting of eFootball Hub at the moment. It's still playing up a little bit with skills, but yeah, ultimately we've got a really good selection of skills for a centre-back there. The pace is decent for centre-back, but jumping's not brilliant. He's about 6'1". He's got aerial, but 80 jump is not great. He's not going to have the best vertical reach. Physical contact 85 is just about okay, but I'd like it to be a bit higher. And yeah, the awareness is good. You're hitting 90 for awareness with your game plan boost, but tackling a bit on the low side, aggression and engagement are both pretty low. So yeah, there are some decent attributes there. Certainly a great selection of skills. He doesn't have a face scan yet. I imagine he'll probably get one at some point. He's young, but yeah, a few qualities, a few things are good about this guy, but we don't get a Dutch League challenge, and there are a bunch of attributes that just aren't really quite high enough. So on the whole, there are some qualities of this card, but it's another one where if you're new to the game, he might be an option until you get someone better. But anyone who's been playing the game for a while now will have a lot of better options. And without a Dutch League challenge, I don't think many people are going to really get much value out of this guy, unfortunately. And next is Julián Carranza. So First time I've had a feature version of him as well. He's a fox in the box, usual playing style. I've not changed his positions or play style or anything. And annoyingly, it's another one of these strange ones compared to his GP card, because you train his GP card in auto allocation and you compare it to this Player of the Week version. We've lost a bit of attacking awareness and we've lost a bit of acceleration as well. They have boosted him on the whole, of course. His physical strength is up a bit. His passing's been boosted a bit better on the ball as well. But Player of the Week striker losing attacking awareness, why? Like, give me a break. It just does not make sense. Skill-wise, though, what have they changed? So I think acrobatic. Hang on. So he's already got acrobatic finishing, first time shot, and track back. It looks like, according to eFootball Hub, and the rest are new. So he's had a whole lot of skills added, which is good. So we've got heading, acrobatic, and aerial superiority. It's not the tallest though, about 5'11", 80 jumping, not the strongest physically, so he'll be okay from crosses, but not dominant by any means. First time shot, one touch pass and through passing, good. Outside colour's handy. He's a super sub as well. So yeah, you kind of got an all right striker here, but what's particularly good about him? You know, he's not got electric pace, he's not got amazing awareness or finishing. Passing's reasonable for a striker, I guess, and he's reasonable on the ball. But do you want a striker who's reasonable in a few areas and just nothing special? No, I don't think so. No face scan. Again, we don't get a Dutch League challenge. I don't want to sound too harsh, too critical of these cards, but I've got to call it like it is. Yes, he's okay in a bunch of areas. He's kind of an all-right-ish striker. Maybe as a super sub, he's useful to throw in second half, but ultimately, there's nothing that great about him. I mean, he's got a good selection of skills, to be fair, for a centre forward. Very good selection of skills, and the profile for Fox in the box is decent. It's just the overall ability. It might not be particularly bad, but it's not particularly good either. So again, if you're new to the game, if you're a final fan, he might be a really good one to pick up for you. But if you're looking at divisions, if you're looking at the unlimited challenge, is he going to get anywhere near your squad? I highly doubt it. So not a terrible card, but it's really not a brilliant one either, unfortunately. And here's our goalie, and it's our first booster in this pack. We've got Mignolet, a booster goalie. Let's just boost him straight away. And as you can see, this is a good goalie card. So he's got a face scan. He's had that for years. That's an old face scan. He's got unwavering form. He's about 6'4". Yeah, a good size, good attributes. This is a good goalie, to be honest, especially on A form. When he's not on A form, pretty decent. When he is on A form, yeah, he's looking good. He's looking like a good keeper. He doesn't have a low punt. That's the one thing he's lacking, really. He's got pretty much all the other goalie skills, but yeah, certainly in terms of his goalkeeping ability, very good goalkeeper. There was a previous Champions League Player of the Week version, but that was back, I think, 2 seasons ago. This one's way better, even before the boost, to be honest. And yeah, on A form, awareness. Is the powering getting at 90? No, not quite. But awareness, reflex, and reach are all going to hit the 90 mark or go past it with the game plan boost. Catching and powering are both reasonable. This is a good, solid goalie, this. Again, though, you know, we don't get a Belgian League challenge, so you're just looking at divisions and unlimited challenge, and maybe you'd rock a Belgian squad in the national team challenge. But to be honest, this card would be good, I think, when he's on form. He'd be certainly be good enough. He looks like a very good competitive keeper. There's no real weakness there. The catching and powering, the only two that aren't hitting 90 with the game plan boost, but neither of them are going to be far off. So, yeah, not much more to say about this guy, to be honest. He's a good size. He's got very good goalkeeping attributes on A form. He's a solid one when he's not on A form. Maybe not amazing, but certainly when he does get the A form boost, that is a very good goalkeeper card. And now we have right back Timothy Weah. So he is normally a roaming flank. They've made him fully proficient at right back, and he's an attacking fullback now. He's got a face scan. He's had that for years. Yeah, interesting one this. So he's normally either a wide man or a forward. We've had a World Cup Player of the Week on the last World Cup. That wasn't on the same level as this. It wasn't as good. That only had centre forward and right wing forward as positions. It wasn't a million miles away, but it's not as good as this one. There was a nominated contract version of Weah not long ago. If you train out to be a centre forward, it's better than this card. As a wide forward, probably slightly better, not a massive difference. You can't make him as good as a fullback as this one, though. He is semi-proficient at right back, so it can be position trained. But yeah, this is obviously a very different version of Weah. There's no point comparing his attributes to the GP card because it's a completely different position, making him a right back. And he's kind of just one of these fullbacks, really, where you've got a lot of quality in some areas. He can run really fast. He's got stamina. But he can't defend to save his life, unfortunately. Skill-wise, he does have interception. I think has he already got that? No, they've added that. So they've added again, I'm trusting eFootball here. So we've lost chop turn, I think, and gamesmanship. And it looks like they've added long range shooting, one touch pass, pinpoint crossing, and interception. He's already a super sub. So yeah, as an attacking fullback, he's got the most important ones: crossing, interception. I think are probably the first two I'd look to have on an attacking fullback. Would be nice if he had one or two more defensive skills, but he's obviously a very attacking fullback because he can't defend. Getting forward, yes, he's got one touch pass and he's got pinpoint crossing, but 73 low pass, 74 lofted pass. He's not going to have a particularly good passing or crossing. On the ball, he's good for a fullback. You would expect that for a winger who's just been kind of converted to fullback. But yeah, he's got some real drawbacks as a fullback. He can't defend. He's not got great passing or crossing. So yes, there are qualities there. You like a very attacking fullback. You think he can work around the weaknesses he's got, then he could be a fun one to have. But he's probably better used higher up the pitch. I think, in all honesty, he might be best as a wide forward, as a right midfielder. 74 lofted pass, even with pinpoint crossing, his crossing won't be great. Centre forward, he's not got the awareness or the finishing, but wide forward, left or right. It's a shame he doesn't have long range curler, but even without long range curler, we've got long range shooting and first time shot. One touch pass will help. As a super sub, especially with the pace he's got, he's kind of okay on the ball, not brilliant, but okay. As a wide forward, I think that's where you could get the most value out of him. I don't think he'd be brilliant there, but he's certainly rapid, and he could be good enough just about on the ball and with his finishing ability, that finishing going past 80 with a game plan boost. He could certainly do a job, I think, as a wide forward. Maybe especially as a super sub, if you throw him on as a super sub second half, use his pace in the wide areas, he could be an option for the Italian League challenge. So yeah, for some people, it could be a handy one to have, at least on the bench, being off the bench as a wide forward second half, maybe super sub. But outside of that, yes, some qualities there, but I don't like a fullback who can't defend. I don't think he's got the product as a wide midfielder, and I don't think he's got the awareness or finishing as a striker. So really, for me, the only areas he could be half decent are as a wide forward. Even though he wouldn't be amazing, but certainly as a super sub, you could get some value out of him with the pace he's got. So yeah, wide forward, super sub, maybe could be decent. Apart from that, not a great card on the whole. And we have our next booster now. We've got Fabián Ruiz. He's got his usual playing style, box to box, and his usual positions. We'll activate the booster straight away, and we'll check, of course, yes, he's got a face scan. So yeah, with that booster activated, it's a good version of Fabián Ruiz. So we've had a couple of Player of the Week versions of him. There was a PSG one with the orchestrated playing style. Pretty similar to this one before the boost, but the boost when this one's an 8th one gives it the edge over that one. This one obviously is box to box, and the other Player of the Week one that we've had was a Spain Player of the Week card, which was also a box to box, and overall ability wise very similar, and that was also a booster as well, but it had a different booster, so a slightly different kind of profile. Stats kind of shuffled a little bit. Ultimately, I'd say this one's a little bit better defensively than that Spain one, but the Spain one a little bit better technically. Overall, they're very similar, and this one's pretty comparable to the better trainable versions of Fabián Ruiz, to be honest. The trained ones, you can train them to be a bit better technically. That left column on the ball and stuff, you can make them a bit better there. But this one, more than anything, has an athletic advantage, because that's where he's been boosted the most from his GP card. We've got a big, nice boost on pace, physical strength, and defending. Balance is up as well. So that's what makes this a different version of Ruiz to most of the previous ones. And he's kind of a bit more balanced, I'll say. He's a bit better balanced all around the attributes. Skill-wise, again, looks like Marseille turn's been taken away. They don't like Marseille turn on these Player of the Week cards. I think dipping shot has gone as well. Looks like pinpoint crossing and outside curler what they've added. So don't know how often he's going to get into a position to put a cross in. Certainly his crossing will be good though. Lofted pass going over 90 with the game plan boost. Bit of curl on him. Reasonable kicking power as well. But outside curler, this guy is very one-footed. He does not want to use his weaker foot. So outside curler is actually a really nice addition, especially since he's not got great balance as well. You don't want this guy twisting and turning and kind of playing passes when he's a bit off balance, because he's constantly trying to play him on his stronger foot when he's not in a position to. Outside curler will help, because he is, like I say, the balance isn't great and he's quite tall as well. He never feels great on the ball, this guy, but yeah, skill-wise on the whole, pretty well equipped. He's got a couple long range curl, long range shooting for getting shots. Whereas his finishing any good? Not really. It's not amazing. But yeah, long range curl, long range shooting will help. But most importantly, one touch pass, through passing, weighted pass. Got pinpoint crossing as well now. And outside curl, like I say, is a nice addition on this guy. He will benefit from that. Interception, obviously an important one on the box to box centre mid. Aerial superiority, nice. He's not got great jumping, but he's quite tall. Aerial superiority will help. Yeah, it's kind of, like I say, it's a good version of Fabián Ruiz. The thing with Ruiz is he's not the quickest, he's not the most mobile, he's quite a tall guy. He's not brilliant defensively either, so where is he going to be best for? You know, defensive mid, I don't think he's strong enough defensively. In a double pivot, yeah, maybes. Box-to-box playing style will still be at the DMF, so he'll still get forward from that position. So in a double pivot, alongside maybe an anchorman or destroyer, could work. Centre mid, certainly. With the interception, a little bit of defensive ability. Obviously, he's more focused on his attacking ability, getting forward and creating chances for you. Could work very well as a centre mid, if you don't mind the fact he's not the most nimble on the ball. As an attacking mid, he could do a job for you as well. You know, the attacking awareness is decent. On the ball, he's tidy. He's not by no means a dribbler, but he's tidy enough in possession. He's certainly got a nice pass on him, or on A form at least. I'd like the low pass to be higher. It usually is with a decent version of Ruiz. 85 is not ideal, but certainly on A form, you're going to hit the 90 mark with it. So, yeah, not the most nimble. He's going to be a little bit tall and clunky for a midfielder, but he's quite a nice balanced build compared to other versions of Ruiz. Yes, other versions can be a bit better with some of the technicals and stuff, but he's a bit better athletically, a bit better defensively. So, yeah, as an all-rounder, box-to-box centre mid, he could work for you in certain ways. Obviously, the fact he's not the quickest, not the most nimble or mobile and stuff, there are some slight drawbacks with this guy, but he's got a pretty strong selection of skills. He does have some qualities there, so it's not going to be for everyone, this guy. And again, we don't get a French League challenge, so there's limited use for this guy, unless you're going to use him in divisions and so on. But for some people, it could be a solid midfielder to pick up. And another box-to-box centre mid from the French League. This time it's Eliesse Ben Seghir. I hope I've said that right. So another young talent from Monaco. Not normally a centre midfielder or box-to-box though. So he's normally a creative playmaker. And he normally plays as I think a left wing forward. I think he was in I think the Ballon d'Or pack. He was in there as an SS, I think. So he's normally an attacking player, but they've made him a box-to-box and made him fully proficient centre mid. If you look at that version from the Ballon d'Or pack, he's better in attacking positions than this one, but this one's got more of a kind of all-round build, as you'd expect, since they've converted into a centre midfielder. It's obviously a boost from his GP card, which is more attacking. You know, he's got more. How do I put it? He's got more of an attacking profile. Obviously, they've kind of balanced him out a bit this version. Before I forget, he does have a face scan. He got that quite recently. So yeah, it's one of these cards where is he best in one of his normal positions? Is he best as a wide forward or an SS just behind the attack? Or is he best in his new position they've given him? But to be honest, it's pretty clear. One touch pass, okay, that's good, but no through passing. 81 low pass. If you want this guy in centre midfield, good luck, because his passing is not brilliant. Even as an attacking midfielder, he does not have good enough passing for me. So it looks a bit of a dud card to me, to be honest, at first. Centre mid and attacking mid, not really doing it for me. Centre forward, not got the awareness or the finishing. So it does come down to the normal positions. Left wing forward or SS, which he's been on that Ballon d'Or version of him. I think that's where he's going to be best, but how good would he be in those positions even? Pace, decent but not amazing. On the ball, decent but not amazing. Passing for a wide man or an SS is kind of okay. Finishing decent. Attacking awareness decent. It's kind of looking like a decent card, to be honest. As a wide left inverted winger, as an SS just behind the attack, he looks decent, but that's about it for me. I don't think his passing is anywhere near good enough to play as a centre mid or attacking mid, certainly without through passing. And like I say, centre forward he's not going to cut it there. Or if they change skill wise, first time shot looks new. Is that new? I'm not sure it is actually. Again, we've lost Marseille turn. They hate Marseille turn at the moment. Dipping shot, I think, has been taken away, and chop turn, again, I'm relying on eFootball Hub here. They've added one touch pass, they've added trap back and interception, so they have added some of the skills that would make him more useful as a centre mid, but like I say, you need through passing, and his low pass attribute is not high enough. So I think you're looking at attacking positions. The fact he's got long range curler in particular, wide left, he could be useful there. He's a super sub as well. He's mainly got the shooting skills, really. So yeah, I think that's definitely what we're looking at here. We're not looking at a guy who's going to be in those kind of midfield areas creating chances. I think he's definitely better equipped to be in those attacking areas, either wide left or as an SS. He won't have an active playing style, but I think he'll be fine there even without an active playing style. A bit of pace, a little bit of on the ball ability. He won't have the best passing without through passing, without more on his low pass, but finishing and attacking when it's getting into the 80s. From those positions, SS or wide left, with long range curler especially, and he's got long range shooting and first time shot as well. Could be a useful one, not an amazing one, but he could be useful. But again, we don't get a French League challenge, so even in the positions where I personally think he'd be the most valuable. Would he be good enough to get in your squad for divisions or unlimited challenges? I'm not convinced. He's not a bad one by any means. You could find him useful. Maybe he's one of these ones that if you get him and try him out, he feels better than the stats look. But those stats to me, even where I think it'd be best just off the attack to the left or in the centre as an SS, decent but not amazing. So yeah, one of these cards where he's not terrible, but yeah, I don't think many people are going to be keeping hold of him. I'm not convinced this guy's going to be a particularly great card in any position, really. And this is another guy where you kind of look at his positions and it's never entirely clear where he's going to be best, because Kökçü is normally an orchestrator and his attributes are always a lot more kind of heavily weighted towards his attacking ability. And an orchestrator doesn't really get forward much, but they have changed his playing style this time to a whole player. And at centre mid or attacking mid at least, that means he will now start bursting forward a lot more, and that means you'll be able to make much better use of his best abilities, which are going forward. So this is an interesting version of Kökçü. He's got a face scan, whole player centre mid, got the normal position he's got, but that playing style really changes things. So like I say, orchestrator is normally active defensive mid or centre mid, and it holds him back because he won't run forward much, but he can't defend for it particularly well. He's never good defensively or physically, at least in terms of physical contact. I've got a version that if you look at the best versions of Kökçü, the most recent Turkey pack and a recent nominating contract, one of the best two versions we've had of him. Like I say, they're both an orchestrator. This one as a whole player has more awareness and finishing, a bit more acceleration, physical contact. Not so much passing though. A bit annoying that. Given to have him, I mean, in any midfield position, doesn't matter if he's orchestrator or a whole player, he needs to be able to pass. But to make him a bit worse at passing is a bit annoying. I mean, I've not overly nerfed it, but yeah, it just 1 point higher on low pass, you'd have been able to get 90 with your maximum game plan boost, which would have been nice. But yeah, passing still decent, but like I say, not great defensively and stuff. But if you use this guy as an attacking mid with a whole player playing style, I think that's where he could be best. Centre mid as well, but defensively he's not great. Like I say, he doesn't have any defensive skills there, and his defensive stats aren't great. Not much physical strength. But whereas that's usually the case with this guy, the fact he's a whole player means it's not really important but defensively. If you use him as a centre mid, I always say this: if you're going to use a whole player, a very attack-minded whole player as a centre midfielder, you're going to need one or two midfielders behind them to do the defensive work, in which case you might as well make them an attacking midfielder, because you've got to get them forward and have someone in that gap between the midfield and the attack. That's what you want this guy to be doing. That's what he's best at. He's not got the best attacking awareness for a whole player, but certainly on the ball he's tidy. He's got nice passing, even if he's not quite as high as I'd like. The finishing's reasonable at 76, and he does have long range shooting and first time shot. First time shot's been added, and they've added outside curl as well. He's not overly two-footed, so outside curl is a nice addition. What else have they added? I think fighting spirit again. Another attacking player gets fighting spirit. So yeah, those are the additions. Again, I'm just relying on eFootball Hub here. It looks like I've taken away, I think dipping shot is gone. I think captaincy and penalty specialist. So yeah, pretty good trade on the whole. So we've got one touch pass, through pass and weighted pass, as he always has. Low lofted pass as well. Outside curl is a nice one to throw in there. And as I mentioned, first time shot and long range shooting. So I think as an attacker mid is where you get the most value out of this guy. I think he's better equipped to play as an attacker mid than he normally is. But those previous versions, like I mentioned, the best versions, the one from the Turkey pack, which I've got, the nominated contract one as well, you can train them and you can just abandon all the points from his defending and physicals and just go all in on the attacking and make him a bit better going forward than this one. So if you've got one of those two versions, it's a question of what you prefer: the whole player playing style, which is a really nice playing style on attacking midfield if you want to make attacking ones, or if you prefer a trainable one where you won't have an active playing style as an attacking midfielder, but you can make him better in terms of his attacking attributes, certainly attacking awareness and some of these other ones in the passing. So pros and cons compared to previous versions, but looking at this card in isolation, defensive mid for me out of the question. Centre mid, if you've got other midfielders behind him doing the defensive work, in which case you might as well make him an attacking mid. But whether he's an attacking centre mid or an attacking mid, with that whole player playing style, active in both sides positions, making attacking runs, yes, I'd like a bit more on the attacking awareness, a little bit more on the passing, but in my experience with the version I've got, and I had the original version from the first Turkey pack as well, he's very nice on the ball. He does have end product. He's got good kicking power as well, so I think his shooting could be pretty decent. He looks like a pretty tidy card. I don't think he's an amazing one, but as an attacking mid, yes, one or two attributes a bit lower than I'd like him to be, but going largely on my personal experience with this guy, I think as an attacking mid whole player, this guy could be pretty handy. So if you do get this guy, give him a try. You may well like him. He's not an amazing one. Again, we don't get a Portuguese League challenge, so you're going to be using him in divisions, or if you've got a Turkey squad for the national team challenge. So again, limited use for this guy, but I do think it looks like it could be pretty handy. Not an amazing one, certainly not top level one. One or two things a little bit, not quite as high as I'd like him to be, but he could be a handy one. So give him a try, and you might find he's a pretty neat attacking mid that you've got here. And now we have a booster, Alphonso Davies. So, got a face scan, of course. Let's activate the booster straight away. What we're looking at, even more acceleration, more physical strength, good. So he's physically strong for an Alphonso Davies card. More stamina, didn't really need that, but great. A bit more aggression, okay. Inconsistent form still, a bit of a downer, but he does seem to get good form for Bayern. We've had a few Player of the Week Alphonso Davies cards. This one, to be honest, is pretty similar to the best previous one that we had, but that's before the boost. The boost gives it the edge. This looks like the best Player of the Week version we've had. It's up there with the better trainers, to be honest. Obviously, we've had some kind of big-time legend type of card, which is goes without saying. That's the best version we've had of Davies. But outside of that, this is up there with the better trainables. It's just the fact you can't train this card is probably the biggest downside, because if I ever get a good version of Davies, the first thing I'm doing is I'm taking a few points away from the athletic attributes, especially the pace. I'm putting on defending because he's not great at defending, but he's better at defending than he often is, to be fair. He's pretty similar to his, if you've got the one in the new Bayern pack, he's pretty similar to that version, to be honest. Not a massive difference. Compared to his GP card, they've taken a bunch of points off speed, as you probably expect. That's the kind of thing they usually would do with a rapid fullback, but he's still rapid, to be fair. They can afford to do that. They boosted his physical contact even before the A-form boost. We've got more awareness and finishing. A bit more ball control and tight possession. That's a good boost, and much more comfortable on the ball. That's good. Low enough to pass the boosted, but I would have liked an even bigger boost on low pass because it's still awful. But that's really it, really. He's not great at defending, and his low pass is terrible. Apart from that, he's pretty good. And just noticed as well, they put 12 on heading. Interesting. That's a massive boost on heading. Did he score a header? I thought he just bundled the ball over the line at the end of the game. But apparently he's much better at heading than normal. Fair enough. Yeah, so like I say, one or two areas is still a bit weak, but there are plenty of qualities here. This is, on the whole, is a good version of Davies. Let's see what they've done skill-wise. Looks like we've lost Flip-Flop. Is Chop Turn gone? Has that been taken away? Dipping Shot, I think, as well. Again, relying on eFootball Hub. They've added Interception. Nice. So he doesn't always have that. Again, just relying on eFootball Hub. That's an important one. Interception. Super Sub. And Fighting Spirit. Another player getting Fighting Spirit. A defensive player getting Fighting Spirit this time. So yeah, on the whole, looking at the important ones, pinpoint crossing, interception, then we've got sliding tackle and right clearance as well. Most of the important ones you want on an attacking fullback, and he's a super sub, Fighting Spirit as well. This is a good version of Davies on the whole, to be honest. I will always say, there are plenty of qualities here, and it is a good card on the whole, but even on an attacking fullback, I want him to be able to defend better. But he does at least have, some defensive skills, and he's a bit better at defending than he normally is. And again, that low pass, they boosted it, but it's still only 71. That's horrible. Be really, really careful with this guy whenever you pass the ball, because you don't want to give the ball away. We all know how bad passing is in this game. That's not good enough for low pass. But like I say, apart from that, he's not great at defending, but on the whole, good selection of skills. And even if they're taking a bunch of points away from speed, you can afford to lose those points if you get the boost in all the other areas that boosted them. So yeah, this statistically, it's one of the better versions of Davies that we've had. There might be one or two areas where I would still like a few more points, but all things considered, this is a pretty good Davies card. So if you do like a very attacking fullback, it could be a really good card to pick up. And as for left wing, I always say the same thing, is low pass isn't good enough to play as an attacking player. Love the pass, a bit better than he normally is, but even with pinpoint crossing 76, he's not got a great cross on him. So would you play him left wing? I don't think you're going to get a great deal of dry up in there, really, realistically. So yeah, I think this guy very much is just a very attacking left back. If you like a very attacking left back and you don't mind the fact he's not great at defending, be careful with his passing, and you'll have a very good version of Alphonso Davies in your hands. And hooray, we have another Mbappé Player of the Week card. This one is a little bit different though. They made him a deep lying forward. Interesting. I'm not sure he's been a deep lying forward before. Normally a poacher. He's been a whole player and prolific winger at times as well. He might have had one to other playing styles, but I don't think I've seen a deep lying forward Mbappé card before. He has a face scan, obviously. Unwavering form. What else do you need to say about Mbappé? It's really just a question of, does he match that playing style? If you look at what they've done to him compared to his GP card, essentially we've lost a bit of dexterity, so we've lost a bit of attack awareness, a bit of acceleration, a bit of balance, but we've gained a bit of ball control and tight possession. So I think that probably does suit the deep line forward playing style well in terms of those changes they've made to his attributes. But the passing's not great. Low pass 73 on a deep line forward. And when you look at the skills, yes, they've added one touch pass, that will help, but there's no through passing. So I'm not sure this version of Mbappé really matches the deep line forward playing style that well. Look at the other skills, that changes they've made according to eFootball Hub at least. Rabona's gone, I think, penalty specialist and captaincy. We've gained not just one touch pass, but we've also got outside curler, nice, and fighting spirit again. So yeah, got first time shot, but it would be nice if we had long range curler. Ultimately, again, it just comes down to the playing style. Deep line forward, we need through passing, we need more in his passing. So you can't really look at any Mbappé card and say it's not a good card, but is this an appealing version of Mbappé? I'm not sure it is going to be for many people. If you like the playing style, fair enough, but I don't think he's got the passing to really make the most of that playing style as a centre forward. As a wide forward, he might be in business. Like I say, he's not got long range curler. He doesn't always have that, to be fair, but you would like that on a wide forward coming off the left flank. But his finishing is already fantastic, so you can certainly live without it. It might be one of these cards where you play him out wide without an active playing style. He could just be, just another good version of Mbappé, to be honest. It's certainly not an amazing one. It's pretty much on a par with most of the better player of the week cards, but there have been so many of them. I think most of us have got a good version of Mbappé by now. I think the question is, do you really need a new version of Mbappé with the deep line forward playing style? The fact they've not made him better suited to that playing style by not improving his passing a bit more and giving him through passing. It's hard to really say any Mbappé cards are dud, but I just don't think it's really going to appeal to many people simply because most of us have got a better version of Mbappé by now. So yeah, if you don't have a good version of Mbappé, I'd say stick him out wide and he could still be pretty effective there without an active playing style. Or if you really like the deep line forward playing style and you don't mind the fact his passing's not that brilliant, he could be good for you as a centre forward. So for sure there will be some people who find this a really good card, because it is a really good card objectively. It's just I don't think he suits the playing style that well without his passing being better. And like I say, by now there have been so many good Mbappés, most people have probably got one already that's going to be as good as this, if not better. So obviously a good card, but just with the playing style and not having better passing to go with that playing style, I don't think this is one that many people will be getting that excited about. And we finish up with Malick Thiaw. So he is a centre-back with the build-up playing style as usual. He's got his face scan, of course. He's a big, tall guy, Thiaw. He's about 6'4". It's not far off 6'5". And yeah, this is a good-looking centre-back card, this. So we've had a previous Player of the Week card of Thiaw, but this is much better. He's around about the same level as the best trainable versions, but as you'd expect from a Player of the Week centre-back, they have nerfed him a bit defensively and boosted him a bit on the left and right column, so his passing's up a bit. His pace and his stamina have had a nice boost. And a bit more on his jumping as well. So yeah, it's a shame obviously they've nerfed the defensives, but he's still strong enough defensively. All the defensive attributes are going to be 90 plus with your game plan boost. His physical contact will be 90 with the maximum game plan boost as well. Jumping is not amazing at 85, but like I say, he's not far off 6'5", so that 85 jumping, maximum game plan boost takes it to 88. He's got a good leap on him. He's physically strong. He doesn't have aerial... Oh, he does have aerial superiority. Okay, so that was the eFootball Hub tricking me. So yeah, he's going to be strong in the air. Tall guy, jumping's not amazing, but with the height he's got, aerial superiority, physical strength he's got, he should be pretty strong in the air. What have they added? One touch pass. Yeah, eFootball Hub is really playing up because they're telling porkies at the moment, but he has been given one touch pass. It says on eFootball Hub he's got weighted pass, but it's not there. Sliding tackle, is that new? I think ultimately what you got here, whatever's new, you've got heading and aerial superiority in the air, strong in the air, and then we've got man marking, search and blocker, sliding tackle, right clearance. One touch pass is a nice bonus. Long throw, couldn't care less, but you got pretty much everything defensively. Just fighting spirit would be nice. One of the few cards in Player of the Week that hasn't been given fighting spirit, but I guess you can't really give him fighting spirit when they got beaten by Feyenoord in the San Siro. But yeah, on the whole, it's a good version of Thiaw. Still strong enough defensively, even with the nerf, but he's had the boost elsewhere. Much nicer passing, pace, stamina, bit more jumping on him. Kicking power's a little bit low. You're going to be shy of the 70 mark kicking power, so make sure you don't underheat your passes. But yeah, all things considered, it would be nice if you had fighting spirit. It would be nice if you had a bit more kicking power, but ultimately, he's a big, tall guy, strong in the air, good at defending, bit of pace, good stamina, nice passing for a centre-back. this for me is a very good centre-back card. I think it's one of the better centre-backs we've seen in Player of the Week recently, especially as a build-up. If you like the build-up playing style, which I do, I'm very keen to get this guy. It looks like a very good version of Thiaw. So yeah, annoying they nerf the defences, but I think you can allow them to do that when they boost them elsewhere the way they have done. And this for me is a very good, strong-looking centre-back card. So there's your Champions League Player of the Week pack. I don't think this is as good as most of the Champions League Player of the Week packs that we've had so far this season. I guess that's probably because it's from the playoff round where we've had the teams who didn't quite make the grade in the first phase. So teams who haven't been playing that well and stuff, you kind of expect it's not going to be as strong of a pack, but you still got a good Mbappé card, albeit I don't think he really suits the playing style. I think for most people it probably isn't going to be the best version of Mbappé. A good version of Alphonso Davies. Yes, he's still got 1 or 2 weaknesses, but it's a good version of him. For a lot of people, that'll be a really nice card. Kökçü, interesting given in the whole player playing style, could well be a very interesting attacking midfielder in my opinion. Thiaw, as we just looked at, looks like a very strong centre-back. I'll be very keen to get this card. I think that's my target from this pack. Yeah, it's definitely my target from this pack. Really hope I get it for my free spin. Ben Seghir, yeah, maybe as a wide forward or SS could be reasonable. Fabián Ruiz, solid centre mid. For some people could be good. For other people, maybe the fact he's a bit tall and clunky, not the most nimble, might put you off. But if you don't mind all that, he's certainly got some qualities. Nice all-round build on him. Timothy Weah, don't know. Again, maybe as a wide forward, especially as a super sub, could be handy, but not an amazing card. Ryan Flamingo, not a brilliant centre-back card. Likewise, Carranza, centre-back, not great. Sorry, centre-forward is not a great one. And then Kühn, not too bad to be fair. He's not a brilliant one, but he could be a handy right winger. But a lot of these cards, we don't get a Scottish League challenge, we don't get a Dutch League challenge. I'm not sure how much value there is to get from some of these cards. And the only other guy I didn't just mention, Mignolet, good solid keeper. If it weren't for the fact that he used to play for Sunderland, he might be a good one for me. But if I get him just for the fact he played for Sunderland and the fact that I'm so petty, I'll be releasing him. But he is a good, really good, solid goalkeeper, Mignolet. So yeah, you got some decent ones in there. I think it's a reasonable pack, around about the same level as the regular Player of the Week pack, to be honest, this week. But yeah, there you go. So cheers for watching that. As I mentioned in the regular Player of the Week review this morning, I'm going to try and do a stream this afternoon. Depends when you're watching this. It's Friday lunchtime currently. So yeah, might see you for the stream. And it looks like there's like new transfers pack on Monday. So I'll try and do a review of that on Monday as well. So either way, whether it's for a stream or a video, I'll be seeing you again soon. Thank you for watching this. I hope you found it useful. Let me know who you spun. Let me know what you think of the pack. And yeah, I'll be seeing you soon. Have a fantastic weekend and take care of yourselves.